When Eric Clapton sat down for his Unplugged session in January 1992, few could have predicted that this stripped-down set would become one of the most successful and emotionally resonant live albums of all time. What began as an acoustic experiment evolved into a career-defining moment, showcasing Clapton's deep blues roots, intimate vocals, and a vulnerable reworking of his most iconic songs. The atmosphere captured on the record feels like a quiet confessional, steeped in personal tragedy, musical history, and raw emotion. It's not just an acoustic set, it's an unraveling of layers, a soul exposed through 6 strings and heartbreak. The album opens with Signy, a short lyrical instrumental that sets a meditative tone, establishing the acoustic aesthetic that defines the entire session. Without lyrics, it speaks volumes, a gentle overture to what will follow. Then comes Before You Accuse Me, where Clapton taps into classic blues, letting the band breathe and settle into an easy groove. The acoustic slide work here is clean but gritty, proving that the blues doesn't need distortion to burn. It's Tears in Heaven that forms the emotional centerpiece. Written after the tragic loss of his son, this song has been analyzed endlessly, but on Unplugged, it sounds impossibly intimate. There's a ghostly silence between each line, and Clapton delivers every word with a trembling honesty that still hits like a wave. The delicate fingerpicking, the reserved arrangement, the fragile vocal, it's all perfectly understated, and that's what makes it devastating. You can almost hear the pain he's holding back with every breath. Lonely Stranger follows and continues the confessional vibe. It's sparse and haunting, like an old folk tune passed down in secret, told from the perspective of a man who's lost everything except his guitar. The balance between vulnerability and control is what makes this album work. Clapton is measured, never breaking down, but never hiding either. When Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out rolls in, the mood lifts slightly. It's a blues standard, yes, but here it becomes something else, a reminder of Clapton's roots in the genre, and of the kind of musicality that made him a legend. The piano flourishes, the vocal phrasing, the subtle interaction between band members, it's loose, yet tight, like old friends finishing each other's sentences. The highlight for many is the reimagined version of Layla. Slowed down, rebuilt from the ground up, and stripped of its fiery electric riffs, this acoustic take sounds like a love letter rewritten decades later, full of regret and tenderness. Where the original screamed with obsession, this version sighs with wisdom. The audience clearly recognizes the significance, responding with cheers as soon as the chords begin, and Clapton leans into it with a knowing grin in his voice. Running on Faith becomes a gospel-tinged plea for spiritual endurance, its slide guitar work shining over a bed of warm rhythm. It's a song about belief, not in a dogmatic sense, but in the quiet confidence that comes from living through darkness and still being willing to step forward. The album's sequencing is masterful. Old Love stretches out with space to explore, offering room for slow-burning solos and understated tension. It's a song that lives in the pauses just as much as in the notes. Clapton doesn't need to show off. He lets the music breathe, giving the listener time to absorb the emotion. Alberta, a traditional folk blues tune, provides a bit of levity. The call and response delivery, lighthearted lyrics, and relaxed pace give the performance a communal feeling. It's like sitting around a fire, passing the guitar between friends. San Francisco Bay Blues continues that relaxed vibe, even throwing in a bit of kazoo, yes kazoo, which somehow fits perfectly within the playful arrangement. It's these moments of humor and looseness that keep the album from becoming too heavy. As the set nears its end, Malted Milk and Rollin' and Tumblin' return to pure Delta blues. Clapton's acoustic guitar growls with percussive attack, and the rawness in his delivery feels like a direct channel to the early bluesmen he idolized, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, and Son House. You can hear their fingerprints in every slide, every moan. The closing track, Old Love, circles back as a reprise, this time with a new emotional weight. It's not just a song about romance lost, but about love that's aged, twisted, matured, and maybe, just maybe, survived. That's the beauty of Unplugged. It's not a reinvention, it's a revelation. There are no studio tricks here, no walls of sound or overproduction. What you hear is what happened in that room. The quiet moments aren't edited out, they're preserved. The imperfections aren't polished, they're essential. This album captures the sound of a man revisiting his life's work not as a rock star, but as a survivor, a father, a son, a student of the blues. And in doing so, Clapton gave us one of the most honest and enduring performances ever committed to tape.